going on, everybody? Vince Goodrum here. It is Wednesday morning, and I just had my cup of coffee. I'm gonna make a little bit of a light lunch, and I just wanted to touch base on a couple of things that's recently happened. As some of you guys know, some wacky person in New York City decided to go rent a Home Depot truck and play Grand Theft Auto with pedestrians and bikers there. Mowed down a bunch of people, killed at least 8 of them. A lot of people are seriously wounded. Fortunately, the New York Police Department was able to subdue and capture this deranged individual, who subsequently was going around shouting Ali Akbar at others and yelling other Islamic threats here. So a lot of people at this point in time are, of course, naturally blaming it on terrorism, which it is. It's pretty clear that this person was influenced by ISIS and these other terrorist groups. But the one thing that's not being touched base on is what caused this individual to actually commit such a dastardly and disgusting act. And, a lot of people want to go ahead and automatically blame the Muslim community for this here. But, I actually have a separate theory because it actually works both ways. Within the past couple of months, there's been a number of anti-Muslim, anti-Sharia rallies that's been taking place by a bunch of white supremacist groups and everything. And the thing about it is obviously it's a front for recruiting young individuals into these racist organizations to where they not only hate Muslims, but they hate blacks, they hate Jews, and other ethnic minorities here. But this has a twofold result of it there, and that being that, young Muslims there that are already on the fringe line of whether they're going to join ISIS or not, they're being taunted and being bullied by these white nationalist groups there, and subsequently, all of that bullying and taunting would ultimately lead up to them deciding, hey, well, if they're going to hate me, I'm going to go and get some payback against them there. So, it actually works both ways there in terms of home-growing a terrorist. Because it takes, two forces of nature and actually to influence them. One, that person has to be bullied, felt alone, or in a precarious position, no different than the Columbine killers, for example. And number two, they have to find, a way out of it. Sort of like where, for example, if a person is needing friendship or so forth like that, a lot of times they're going to turn to these groups for companionship, for well-being, for, sort of like a gang, in other words here. I mean, that's just the best way to describe it there. So there's a number of things that we need to do. Number one, we definitely need to do some more vetting in terms of who is allowed in the country. I'm not saying banning every single country because that actually has the opposite effect. I think at this point in time we already have a vetting process there. But, it does need to be stepped up at this point in time there. This individual actually is from another country that wasn't even on the list at all. And not only that, he got into the country by some program that was initiated back in the 90s, such as some sort of immigration lottery system, from what I understand. So even this most recent Muslim ban would not have affected this incident from actually happening here. But the one thing that we need to do is we need to do two things. One, we need to put an end to all of these anti-Muslim, anti-Sharia groups that are essentially creating terrorists on their own there, coincidentally, because their actions in order to recruit people into their, hate groups is subsequently creating Islamic terrorists there. And number two, we do need to have a better vetting process there to ensure that, we're not inviting, crazed lunatics into this country as well. I think the lottery system itself there for immigration needs to be dismantled. I think it was attempted back in 2013, but I think after the incident of yesterday, it's going to be, the laws are going to be passed pretty quickly to where there's going to be a complete end to it. So I just have to tell everyone, hey, be a neighbor to everyone, be cool with each other, if someone is of a different religion, let them be of a different religion. Don't go and harass them or taunt them or mess them up there, because you never know what's going swimming through a person's head. That kid that you pick on one day may come back blasting the next day. It's no different than Menace to Society. Kane went and kicked the crap out of some dude who was cousins with the woman he slept with, and next thing you know, he came back blasting. And that's the funny thing in life there. But we're gonna get some more information on this individual as far as what motivated him. Like I said, I'm very pleased that the New York Police Department subdued this person, so that way, we can get to the bottom of what motivated him to do this dastardly act there. But, ultimately, we all got to be cool with each other, We can't just go and hate each other because of our race, religion, creed, color, sexuality, or whatever type of bullshit there is. If you don't like someone, if you ain't got something nice to say, then don't say it at all. Because like I said, you never know when that individual will come blasting back for you for your bullying and taunting there. Actions do have consequences. There's always a cause and there's always an effect there. And that's all I got to say today. Hope you guys take care of yourselves.